Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and I've been covering Disney and Marvel very closely these last few months. There has been tremendous upheaval at Marvel. They fired Ike Perlmutter, they fired Victoria Alonso, they closed all of Marvel Entertainment, and just a few days ago, Jonathan Majors was arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. Well, when I first heard about it, I thought to myself, you know something? That isn't good. He's in some serious trouble. And I think it was the day later he had this great defense attorney. And I say great because they really moved me. They knew exactly what to say to the public. And they made the claim, hey, there are witnesses. There's video from inside the taxi cab. We can absolutely prove that Jonathan Majors was the victim here. He did not do anything wrong. It's not fair that he was arrested. And beyond that, I thought to myself, well, I'll just kind of see what happens. Let's, maybe he didn't do anything. It's terrible to be falsely accused of something. It's going around a lot these days. Trump was just recently accused of something, and he's been indicted by the Manhattan District Attorney. It's terrible to be falsely accused of something. If Jonathan Majors is being accused of something he never did, and it ruins his career, and it damages Marvel, because Marvel's in so much trouble already. Disney's in so much trouble already. All these massive layoffs, all these crazy cutbacks. They don't need this problem. But if Jonathan Majors is an innocent man, give this guy his peace and let him go along his way and live his life. But I'm not so sure he's innocent. I was thinking he was, but then tonight, Jonathan Majors released these texts from the woman that was allegedly assaulted, and I don't understand why he released these texts unless something really bad is about to happen. And it seems like it is. The texts do not read as a woman who was not allegedly attacked. And we'll go over a couple of these texts, but basically what she says here is this. This is coming from the Wrap. These 3 texts allegedly were sent by the woman involved in the incident just hours after John Majors was arrested, but which could not be independently verified by the Wrap. And they say that, quote, this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. Quote, I told them it was my fault, she said, for trying to grab your phone. Do not share a text like that. Don't share any of these texts. I have no idea why he's sharing these texts. They don't put her in a good light. It seems like an invasion of her privacy. Maybe she gave permission to release them. Maybe she did. But aside from the privacy violation, when she says, I told them, meaning the police, that it, meaning their physical altercation, was her fault for trying to grab your phone. What she's saying, and he's publishing by releasing these texts, is that, okay, yes, we had a physical fight. She blames herself for what happened because she tried to grab his phone. But just because she tries to grab his phone, it doesn't give him permission to put his hands on her. This is extremely damning. It's not good for Jonathan Majors at all. She then goes on to say, I told him it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. The woman wrote in the first text, adding in the third text that she read the paper they gave her about strangulation, and she said, point blank, this did not occur, and it should be removed immediately, meaning from the list of charges. And that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior out of care. That statement that she made also sounds like a prepared statement that she was told to say. It doesn't really ring true as sensible as her, she collapsed and passed out, and then her boyfriend's calling 911 saying, I am concerned for this person's care. It just doesn't ring true. But the reason there's issues about strangulation is because she went to the hospital and they documented her injuries. There's nothing in her text that says what happened to her physically that caused her injuries was either 1, caused by herself deliberately or accidentally, or 2, was an accident between the 2 of them. Maybe somebody tripped and hurt themselves, and that was an accident, or someone waved their arm and hit another person on the neck or something, and there was an injury there, and oh, sorry, but that wasn't deliberate. I just moved my arm quickly, and it just happened to hit you, and I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. It's not explained as an accident of any kind, but there are physical injuries that even the texts make references to. The only reason I can see him putting these texts out is because he knows something really terrible is about to happen. This article came out right after I saw the article from the Wrap. Jonathan Majors' arrest. Marvel Studios reportedly discussing options with actor's agent. What kind of options could they possibly be discussing? He's supposed to be starring in Avengers Kang Dynasty. Maybe he isn't anymore. From the Direct, Marvel Studios is reportedly deliberating its options for Kang actor Jonathan Majors as the actor remains in hot water following his arrest. Jonathan Majors was arrested on Saturday, March 25th for the strangulation, assault, and harassment of his 30-year-old girlfriend. The actor has since gone to length to prove his innocence, with the lawyer going as far as to call him provably the victim and claiming there are numerous pieces of evidence to support this. But we really haven't seen that evidence yet. The charges are already showing an impact on Major's rising acting career, with the U.S. Army having promptly pulled an ad campaign featuring the star. Marvel Studios deliberating John Major's KANG fate. Days after Jonathan Major's arrest and many developments later, Marvel Studios continue to remain silent on the situation surrounding the KANG actor. Well, speaking on the Hot Mic podcast, insider Jeff Snyder revealed the studio hasn't made any decisions on the Marvel star's future in the franchise, but has been in contact with Major's agent to discuss potential options going forward. Quote, I heard that Marvel hasn't made any decisions regarding Jonathan Majors, but they met with or spoke to his agent to discuss potential options going forward. Majors already filmed his next MCU appearance some time ago, with the actor set to return as Kang variant actor Timely in Loki Season 2. Although there have been rumors the Disney Plus series will feature more Kang. The actor has been charged with several assault and harassment misdemeanors, having been accused of assaulting his 30-year-old girlfriend. Majors completely denies his guilt, with the MCU star's legal team having released text messages between the couple, which they claim prove his innocence. The text messages completely do not prove his innocence. It proves that there was a physical altercation between a strong young man and a younger woman where she got physical injuries that were documented by a hospital, where she made a police report, then later said to the police, oh, please don't charge him. He's innocent. It was all my fault for trying to grab his phone, which is what abuse victims say. That is not good. The text should have never come out. Marvel Studios' biggest dilemma yet? Jonathan Majors was only arrested 5 days ago at the time of writing, so the studio will probably want to allow more time before deciding what action to take. They will also want to avoid taking any rash or impulsive action, particularly as Majors' team claims to have a host of evidence proving his innocence. If I was at Marvel, I would say, hey, you know what? You had that video? Shoot it on over here. Let our attorney see it. Because we're in business with you. We're in the Jonathan Majors business. It's a big part of the Marvel franchise, as much as Marvel's franchise is really in trouble. Still, they have a lot invested in Kang, and there's a little thing called continuity. They kind of need to know what the hell is going on. They should send all the evidence over to the Marvel people for them to also sign privacy agreements and not distribute it. That's fine. But if I was at Marvel, I would say, I want that evidence tomorrow, and then you're going to answer any questions I have about it. And if I don't have it, we are no longer in the Jonathan Majors business, and that's the end. Marvel Studios is undoubtedly in one of the toughest positions yet here, having built the whole saga and the next 3 years of storytelling around Majors Kang. This situation only gets tougher when looking at the reviews for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and seeing how almost all the limited praise was for Majors' acting, and his performance was adequate. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, it was a decent performance. Really, just get anybody with a lot of Shakespearean experience. They will do a better job than Jonathan Majors. But it's no surprise that executives at Marvel Studios would have spoken with the actor's agents and possibly Majors himself to examine all the options, including continuing with the actor, perhaps dialing back the role of Kang, or even recasting the multiverse villain with another star. The situation will undoubtedly continue to have many twists and turns in the coming days and weeks. The Direct will continue to share new updates on the situation as they become available, and we will definitely keep an eye on this. I thought the story was over. He made such a compelling case through his really, really potent criminal defense attorney saying, hey, we're innocent, we've got evidence. But you can't make that statement unless you do have the evidence. And if he does have the evidence, he'd better rush it out to people. The text messages are not doing it. There are going to be people that read that say, oh, well, she took all the blame, so that means he's innocent. Anyone who's ever seen any of these things before understands black and white. No. Just because she says she doesn't want to press charges, it doesn't mean nothing happened. And the district attorney does not need her to press the charges. There's physical evidence of injuries on her, and now this dummy has gone and released these text messages that show there was a physical altercation and show that while she's taking the blame for getting herself injured because she tried to grab his phone and apparently he got physical with her about it, he should have never released those text messages. He must really be under the gun. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think it was a good idea for him to release these text messages where she's making these statements and he's basically saying, yeah, all of what she's saying is true because he's putting her statements out. He's verifying those statements. Do you think that's a good idea? Or do you think maybe he should have just been quiet and let his attorney handle all this? And if he's got this great evidence, why not just give the great evidence to Marvel, give the great evidence to the district attorney, and get the situation solved? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love to see your comments. Really interested to see what you have to say. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.